There's one question that I've been burning to ask you for a long time.
Tell me.
And it's this. In this era, a lot of people have had the opportunity, particularly from within the ranks of the Republican world, Trump world, to do the right thing, to stand up for Constitution, for the country, for principle. And a lot of them haven't, I think, out of fear of the retaliation of what could happen to them. And that fear has cowed a lot of them. And I understand that to some degree. But you somehow had the courage to do it. And I'm curious how you found that and what advice you have for others who could possibly consider following your very admirable path.
I would say you only live this life once. I found it, Ian, through a very intense existential and spiritual battle that I resisted, that I very much resisted back in 2017, not wanting for, it wasn't even a political consideration at the moment. It was just a moral consideration of, was I going to allow this illegality that I experienced go by in my life? And the conclusion that I came to, it was a couple of things. One was that my own well-being, and I say this acknowledging that I think that a lot of these people who live in silence and fear and do not speak what they know to be true are not happy and satisfied and fulfilled. This cannot be a healthy way to live. And I realized in that moment in 2017, two things. One was that my own well-being, my own well-being mattered to the whole world. And this was something I was very reluctant to acknowledge. I didn't think what I had experienced was important enough to matter to anybody else. And I had to reject that kind of false humility, and overcome that and realize the real selfless thing was to realize that I did have value that mattered to the world. The second thing was that I didn't think I could live with myself, and I ultimately determined I couldn't if I didn't take action in that moment. I wouldn't have credibility for anything in the rest of my life if I didn't take a stand then in that moment, in that initial moment. And that guided me through the whole rest of the legal battle. It sustained me. It made me know that even when I was losing, the end was victory because I had started from that principled premise. I would say to Republicans out there or people in the GOP who are standing silent in the midst of this, knowing better, you only live this life once. At the end of the day, it's not going to be a political party or a ballot booth that judges you. It's going to be something much higher. And I think many of them have a belief in a higher power. And why wait? Why put it off? Why not live your life to the fullest right now when the whole world is counting on you? You are the ones. We're talking in this episode about the people who have done the work for democracy, to protect democracy, and will be lauded. You're the ones who will be shamed and looked back upon as, why did you not speak up when it mattered? You have an opportunity now to change course, and there is no positive, negative outcome that it could be worse than not taking that stand right now. You will find your freedom and a path forward.
Amen, Jessica. And may people follow your very, very impressive lead.